The ability to project the thoughts inside of your mind in a way that other people can digest and is also entertaining is massively a superpower. How do you develop that superpower? It's not through practice. People think it's practice. Practice doesn't make perfect. The person who ums and ahs at 48 has been practicing his whole life. Feedback is what's important. You have to analyze. I'll give you an example. When I was playing chess as a kid, I would play chess for 2 hours a day training under my father. 1 hour would be play, 1 hour would be going back through the games and analyzing the games. I always enjoyed playing, but I hated analyzing. But it was the analysis that made me better. And I can prove that now because when I was 8 or 9, I think my rating was around 1500. Now, I've been playing Blitz. I play 3-minute chess online for 20 years, ever since I was a child, and my rating is 1700. I've gotten no better in 20 years because I don't watch my games back, I don't analyze them, I don't look where I made mistakes, I just play. That's the problem. So when people speak, they just speak. They don't watch themselves back. I'm going to watch this podcast 10 times. I'm going to identify every single time I stuttered or made a mistake or didn't use the word I should have used. And then people are going to ask me, how do I speak the way I speak? Why do my podcasts get the most views? Because I'm a professional. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it properly.
I would say this to introverts all the time as well. I know if you're introverted, it can seem very daunting and stuff, but for certain aspects of your life, like women, like job interviews, being confident and being extroverted certainly helps. And I do believe it's something you can learn. You don't have to be a full-time psycho. You haven't be the center of attention. But to learn to speak confidently and learn to be just arrogant enough to be believable, I think it's something everyone can put practice into and learn. I learned it. Like, I know it was semi-natural to me, but I learned. I literally sat and thought, how can I come across as so fantastic they have to hire me? Like, it was conscious thought. I mean, I realized that humble is not the way. It was never the way. It was just blow up. Like we talked about Conor McGregor earlier. Look what he did in his fight career by just running his mouth. There's a whole bunch of fighters with better records than him, but they didn't talk enough. So there's a whole bunch to be said. I think you need to be able to turn on the extroversion when you need it, but you have to be socially aware. Obviously not when you don't need it, but when you do need it, it's there, you know? So it's all good. It's just a skill, another skill to put in the box. You got to have as much as possible and something you can drag out when you need it. That's all it is.
Are your oration skills, is that an art, do you think?
I think that if you don't have the ability to make other people understand exactly what you think, that you're going to struggle.
But is it an art? Like when I watched you with PBD and you got in these zones, and you do it all the time. I mean, you're doing it right now. You get in these zones where it's just like you're just flowing, right? It's a flow state, and it must feel really good.
It does.
Yeah, like
it feels good that you never run out of things to say, and it feels good that I already have 10 things I want to say lined up before I say the first ones.
And you know how to say them perfectly, and your voice is clear and resonant, and you're embodied in it.
It's a skill.
It's a skill. Well, but it's almost like an art because I was watching you and I was thinking, this is like watching Michael Jordan play basketball. I mean, you really and people might say, oh, those are exaggerations, but I don't think so. I don't know that I've seen somebody who's able to do what you do.
But that's emotional. So we'll talk about how I'm actually quite a sensitive person.
Yeah.
I think the reason people believe what I say is because they can feel that I feel when I talk.
Yes.
And it's because I feel things.
Yes.
So I'm not a cold person at all. I'm just a person with a lot of emotion that I try and control and channel in the correct directions. But I think that, yes, it's a superpower to a degree.
Well, I think that's why one of the reasons that people are so drawn to you, because you let whatever wants to come through. And
it's also why so many people hate me.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's no light without dark.
Yeah.
There's no joy without pain. You can't have a rainbow without a little rain. That's how it goes. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's definitely a superpower for life. It's something I'd encourage every man to learn how to do. Yeah. It's certainly something worth practicing. It's the reason I don't learn another language, because I haven't mastered English yet. Right. So I refuse to learn another language. Yeah. I can't imagine me and my personality and Andrew Tate stuttering in Spanish. Mm-hmm. It'd just be like, what is this garbage? Yeah. Yeah. So I don't have time. Yeah. So I will only speak English for the rest of my human years. That's it, because I've not learned every word in the dictionary yet. Yeah. But yeah, I guess to a degree it's a superpower. It's extremely beneficial in all aspects of life, especially relationships. I'm not going to lie. I don't argue with women very often, because any woman who respects me and listens to me, I can very quickly and compendiously explain exactly why I'm correct.